Hello, knife lovers. Welcome to Knife Delights. We have a very interesting and delightful open tag to respond to. World Knife Tour by Thrifty Kaniffy. Open tags are so much fun. But first, I'd like to start with a hat tip to a great channel named North Star Knife Reviews. North Star just completed several episodes on Scandinavian knives, and I sure learned a lot about these classic knives. Head on over to North Star Knife Reviews, watch some interesting videos, and while you're there, hit that subscribe button and let him know that Knife Delights sent you over. So North Star, a hat tip to you for those great episodes on Scandinavian knives. Also, I want to announce that Knife Delights is now on Instagram. So if you'd like to see some just classic knife pictures and announcements on what I'll be doing on my YouTube channel, why go on over to Instagram and follow me there. Now let's get into my presentation of the World Knife Tour. Just so you know, I will not be going into any great detail on these knives today. Some of the knives I have already reviewed, and I want to do a full review of the others. I couldn't start out with any other knife than the Filipino Bolo. Now I've done a full review of this knife, which was named Filipino Bolos Blades of Legend. I'll put a link in the description box for this video if you'd like to see the whole review of the knife and the history of bolos. So, this bolo, which has, I don't know, a 12 or 13 inch cutting blade, came from the Philippines, and it's hard to keep the whole knife in frame here. But as you'll learn, if you watch the other video, the Filipinos developed fighting knives, self-defense knives, and such from, well, actually just what would be considered farm implements. And their knife making and designs had a huge impact on the entire world. It really is a very interesting history. You can see this one from the local indigenous tribe. Features quite a clip point there. These are handmade, or this one was handmade. And I'll see if we can get it up there. If you can see, there's no tang stamp, but they simply etched in Philippines up there. Now, the one thing I didn't do in my other video was to show the scabbard. The scabbards are wooden, and you know, they would just, this is the rope that came with it, a little piece of line. Just tie this around their waist and carry them on their hip. And I'll try to demonstrate here real quick. The knife slides in, and then you can push it over, and it locks the knife in place. Very simple design, but very effective. Okay, we're going to move along to the next knife, but I got to pause just for a second and readjust the set. My next knife is from Switzerland. Yes, it's a Victorinox. I bought this knife in Hong Kong in the late 80s. It was pretty much my daily carry knife through the 90s, and you can see the White Cross logo is worn off of it. It's opened a lot of cans of soup and beans to be heated over a campfire. I just recently identified this model. It is an economy recruit because it does not have any tweezers or toothpick. So here's a look at the SAK economy recruit. It has two blades, the main blade and a pen blade, and then the standard can opener, cap lifter, and a little notch for wire stripping. So there we go, a knife from Switzerland. The third choice comes from China, and it is the Bird Meadowlark 2. And Bird is a budget line from Spyderco, and you can definitely see the resemblance. I don't own any Spyderco knives, but after some light use with this Meadowlark, I can sure see why Spydercos are popular. So if you're looking for a Spyderco type knife, why, you might want to check out their budget line of bird knives. And here's the box that it comes in. All right, moving right along. Up next on the list is a knife that I previously reviewed, and it is the Edge brand hunting knife. This is model 461. This knife was made in Solingen, Germany. Let's see, there we go. Got that tang stamp in there. This is a knife from my childhood, and it always brings back some great memories whenever I hold it. It features a really nice stag handle to it. So I have reviewed this knife before. So you can search out my video if you would like. Edge brand model 461. And it's got a pretty nice little sheath for the time. Okay, we need to keep moving on here. And, well, let me hit pause here for just a second. Okay, I'm ready to go again. Sorry about that. For regular viewers on this channel, this next knife might shock you. It is a Ridge Runner's version of a Stockman, and is made in Pakistan. I bought this knife to review, and I need to have a knife like this to compare the characteristics and qualities against other budget brands. In essence, I really need to see for myself and not just listen to the opinions of others. I can't find out much about this knife, but apparently its model name is Cheetah. Obviously not to be confused with case knives, single blade pattern of the same name. So this is the Ridge Runner Cheetah. And the box it came in, it does have bone handles, bone scales. And I will be doing a review on this knife. Okay, quickly moving along. We're now going to look at a knife manufactured in Taiwan. Here's a knife a lot of you might be familiar with. This is the Cold Steel's Survival Rescue Knife, the compact version, SRK-C for short. And I'm sure I'll be doing a full review of this knife at some point. As you can see, it still has the packing grease on it. I have not used this knife. It is a very nice knife. I just love the feel of this knife. I can't wait to do a full review on it. So here we have a Taiwanese made knife. A quick look at the sheath. And we'll take a quick look at the box. That's the box it came in. All right, in honor of St. Paddy's Day, well, let's take a trip to Ireland, shall we? And here I have an Imperial electrician's knife, which was made in Ireland. Its official name is the TM2 screwdriver knife. By the way, Thrifty Kaniffy did a great video on the history of the TL29 electrician's knife. I'll put a link in the description box. This knife is a more modern version of the traditional pattern, as it has some type of plastic handles to it. This is pretty much a new old stock. It's in mint condition. I found it with the box. So, and this is what the box looks like. The box isn't in the best condition, but the knife is. So, alrighty, moving along again for the finale. And wait a minute, I think I'm going to pause here a second, see if I can't zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so to finish up, we have a reproduction Mark IV bayonet knife that was made in Japan. It was imported by the Kiffe, K-I-F-F-E company, and was probably made in the early 60s. I'm going to be doing a review on this. You can see it's missing one of the spacers there, and there's some other little glitches to the knife or to the bayonet, but it's still, the history is pretty interesting. Here's the scabbard. It is a US M8A1 scabbard. Now, there's a common belief out there that bayonets should not be sharpened. They were only used for stabbing, designed for stabbing. However, the M4 in the Army manual is described as a bayonet knife. And a lot of the soldiers late in World War II, when these first came out, carried it on their belt and they used it as a combat knife. And it even states in the manual that these bayonets were sharpened more than other bayonets. So I guess it depends on the style of bayonet whether or not it should be sharpened. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this quick spin around the globe, and I want to thank Thrifty for the opportunity to make this video. And until next time, remember that no matter where it is made, you can find delight in your knife.